On January 31st, 2024, in the icy waters of Lake Donuzlav, Ukrainian unmanned surface vessels, or USVs, tore through the waves, targeting the Russian missile corvette Ivanovets with lethal precision. As the Ivanovets detected the incoming threat, alarms blared, and the crew sprang into action. The AK-630 close-in weapon system roared to life, spewing streams of tracer rounds into the twilight. Explosions ripped through the darkened sky as some USVs were intercepted, but the defenses were not enough to halt the onslaught. The remaining USVs closed in, navigating through a storm of gunfire and shrapnel. The first impact rocked the corvette, sending skyward a towering plume of water and fire. Each subsequent collision tore into the hull, ripping through steel and igniting fuel stores. Despite the Ivanovets' desperate maneuvers and valiant efforts, she was overwhelmed. The final USV struck with such force that it split the corvette's spine. Within moments, she began to list, and eventually the unforgiving sea swallowed her whole. That day made a devastating loss for Russia's Black Sea Fleet. This encounter underscored Ukraine's USV capabilities, proving they could not be underestimated. Blistering new footage reveals the gravity of this threat. A video shared on Telegram shows a Russian helicopter desperately hunting down a Ukrainian drone carrying an R-73 missile as it zeroes in on another Russian vessel. The Ivanovets incident is just one example of Ukraine's relentless assault on the Russian Black Sea Fleet using uncrewed surface vessels, or USVs. On May 6, 2024, Ukraine's defense intelligence executed a surgical strike using a Magura V-5 USV to obliterate a Russian high-speed patrol boat, part of Project 12150 Mongoose in Vuska Bay near Crimea. Spearheaded by the defense intelligence of Ukraine's Group 13 Special Forces, the operation resulted in the destruction of the patrol boat, a $3 million asset of the Russian fleet. This vessel was typically tasked with patrol, anti-sabotage, and search and rescue missions. Mongoose-class boats, stretching up to 20 meters and capable of blazing speeds of 50 knots, are armed with 14 5mm machine guns, AGS-17 grenade launchers, and man-portable air defense systems. Despite their daunting speed and weaponry, the patrol boat was utterly defenseless against the swift and precise kamikaze strike by the USV. The attack on the Mongoose is part of a broader Ukrainian strategy to target and disable Russian naval assets in the Black Sea, forcing Russia to reconsider the positioning of its fleet. This latest incident adds to the growing list of successful engagements by Ukrainian USVs against Russian vessels, demonstrating the significant impact of these drones on the naval conflict in the region. Deploying these inexpensive surface drones often costs much less than the technology needed to stop them. Ukraine's impressive destruction of much of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, often through the use of USVs, has come at a significant cost to the Russian military. For example, Ukraine recently used domestically produced Magura V-5 drones to destroy the patrol ship Sergei Kotov, valued at around $65 million. Such losses are unsustainable for Russia and demand new methods to counter USV systems. The crux of the issue remains: how can Russia sustainably counter drone attacks when launching a drone costs a mere fraction of what intercepting it might entail? Without a cheaper, more sustainable solution, Russia is essentially swatting flies with a sledgehammer, and an expensive one at that. Russia has heavily invested in counter-drone technologies to protect its fleet and infrastructure. These include electronic warfare systems like the Brave 1, capable of jamming incoming drones, and active measures such as directed energy weapons and conventional munitions. These defenses are crucial to mitigate the significant losses inflicted by Ukraine's USVs, including the destruction of patrol ship Sergei Kotov. In addition to these technologies, Russia has focused on enhancing its detection, tracking, and interdiction capabilities, combined into a multifaceted approach. This aims to counter various drone threats, from single high-value targets to swarms of smaller drones. The economic toll of Ukraine's drone strikes on Russia has been considerable, affecting not only military assets, but also critical infrastructure like oil refineries and bridges. These severe blows have prompted Russia to adapt its strategies and defenses. The extensive use of cost-effective drones by Ukraine demonstrates a shift in modern warfare, emphasizing the need for robust countermeasures against low-cost, high-impact threats. Despite these efforts, Russia faces ongoing challenges in countering Ukraine's innovative use of maritime drones. There's no one-size-fits-all solution to tackling drones. If Russia wants to keep its navy afloat against the USV threat, it must heavily invest in a wide array of emerging defense technologies. and learn to implement them proactively as situations arise. In the meantime, Russia will be forced to use expensive and aggressive measures to tackle the surface drone problem. A recent video vividly illustrates one of these solutions being implemented. On the same day Sergei Kotov was destroyed, fascinating footage emerged from the Russian side. Several clips show a Kamov Ka-27 Helix helicopter attacking a Ukrainian uncrewed surface vessel with its cannon. Some videos were filmed from the cockpit of the Russian helicopter, while another clip was taken from a distance, likely from another vessel or warship. The use of a Kamov Ka-27 Helix to destroy a tiny drone vessel might appear impressive at first glance, but it actually reveals Russia's desperation to tackle this urgent issue. The Ka-27, developed by the Kamov Design Bureau, is a Soviet or Russian military helicopter primarily designed for anti-submarine warfare. Introduced in 1982, it features coaxial rotors, eliminating the need for a tail rotor and providing greater stability and maneuverability in maritime environments. Equipped with sonar systems, radar, and weapons like torpedoes and depth charges, the Ka-27 is a sophisticated piece of technology. Its operational cost, both financially and in man-hours, is significant. Utilizing such an advanced helicopter to pursue small, remote-controlled Ukrainian drones is far from its intended purpose, yet that is precisely what the video shows. This engagement is particularly noteworthy because the USV appears to be armed with an R-73 air-to-air missile. This suggests that the unmanned vessels are also being used as mobile surface-to-air missiles, also known as SAM batteries, equipped with infrared air-to-air missiles. The R-73 is a short-range air-to-air missile developed by the Soviet Union, renowned for its agility and advanced infrared homing capability. The missile employs an advanced infrared seeker with a wide-angle gimbal, allowing it to lock onto targets from greater off-boreside angles compared to its predecessor. Its exceptional agility is achieved through thrust vectoring control, which provides high turning rates and makes it highly effective in a variety of combat scenarios. This footage starkly illustrates the lengths to which Russia must go to counter the drone threat. The deployment of a specialized anti-submarine helicopter to destroy a small USV highlights the urgent need for effective countermeasures. The intense footage starts with a seemingly tranquil image of the sea and horizon. Suddenly, the violent splatter of bullets hitting the water explodes into the scene, with splashes rising skywards in a diagonal line over the water. Gradually, an object bobbing up and down through the waves approaches the camera. The cannon fire attempts to hit the approaching object. Bullets strike near the moving drone, but the vessel keeps advancing without any apparent explosions or smoke. More bullets connect with the drone, this time raising some smoke or dust from the target. The Kamov Ka-27 Helix descends closer to its target while relentlessly firing at the drone. The Helix is now so low that its rotor blades create a circle of rising water around it. It continues firing in bursts until it finally happens. The drone explodes in a dramatic cloud of white smoke and fire. The detonation is so large, it seems it might envelop the helicopter, but the pilot quickly pulls back and ascends as the smoke continues to rise. The threat is neutralized, but at a significant operational cost. The Russian Ministry of Defense stated that forces of the Black Sea Fleet destroyed 5 unmanned boats of the Ukrainian armed forces near the northwestern coast of the Crimean Peninsula that day. According to the Russian fighter-bomber Telegram channel, quote, "The Ukrainians were able to somehow connect the rocket with the USV telecontrol systems and are trying to work with them. At the moment, the most effective means against USVs are helicopters." If Russia cannot find a more sustainable way to confront this threat, Ukraine will continue to hold the upper hand against the Black Sea Fleet for the time being.